Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and good evening for my friends in India. I thought I'll do a small informal chat with one of our hearing clinicians that I know of. And this is a topic which I now, when I speak to a lot of people, especially in India, and they are from varied age group. When I speak to them about hearing loss, hearing problems, I see there is not a lot of awareness about it. As for me, I think it's almost like having a problem of having eyeglasses, but the amount of awareness that is there in India, I think isn't that much, which it should be. So I thought, let me have a small informal conversation with one of the clinician, just to give you a bit of perspective, just in terms of numbers, and I think facts don't lie. Approximately 63 WHO estimates, almost 63 million population of India is suffering from some form or other of hearing loss, which is a pretty huge number, which is roughly around 6 to 7% of the population of the country. And the most funny part is not everybody would actually know that they have some form of hearing loss. Also, when you look at this is also significant when we see that a percentage of kids in the age of 0 to 14 are now having some kind of hearing problems. When we also compare this with the global data, it's also significant. Almost 5% of the world population has some or the other form of hearing problem. So these are just figures which actually talk that the problem, the issue is pretty huge. However, we just tend to ignore it. We just see, oh no, until it's an age problem, and unless there is age, we just tend to ignore it. So today I thought, let me have a conversation. This is very informal conversation of general questions, queries that people have. So I'm going to be connecting Sai Krishna, who happens to be the clinical director audiology with the Hair and Say Clinics, which is a chain of clinics in Hyderabad. Let me see whether he's online or not. A bit about Sai before we get him online. Sai has manages and handles patients, although he's a young clinician. He has looked after till now over 5,000 newborn hearing screenings, which is pretty huge in number and he treats infants to geriatric patients with regard to hearing loss, hearing aids, cochlear implants, and any similar form of disorders. And he has a really good experience with regard to the hearing industry. So let me try and see if I can connect him. Yes, I think he's online. Yeah, I'll try and connect. Hey, Sai.
Hi, Sachin.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah,
Okay.
crystal clear.
You are at your clinic?
Yes.
Lovely. And how's the weather in Hyderabad?
It's pleasant.
Okay.
It's pleasant.
Great. So you're the lucky one. We're having a lot of
Yeah.
rain. Not a good time to have rain when India is visiting England for the cricket match. And funny enough, Nottingham is hosting the Indian team as well.
Yes.
Okay. So Sai, I'm sure you would have heard a bit of just an introduction that I said with regard to what we're going to be talking about. We'll keep it very informal, and I'll try and simplify this so that it doesn't seem to be very clinical, technical conversation we're going to have.
Surely.
I'm going to ask a general perspective about people, right? About hearing loss and what I'm going to ask you those questions. So normally, if we talk to a general person, right, any person of different age, and I'm talking, let's take a case of my example, people of my age, we will perceive, general perception is that a hearing loss is usually perceived with that it comes with age, right? Only an elderly person will have a hearing loss. Tell me, which you and me know that the factual data says no, that's not correct. So tell me, is there any signs that we could identify? Yes, one of the obvious ways that we are not able to hear, but is there any other obvious signs that we can just see from ourselves, even before we actually go for a hearing test? So is there any sign that you would see that anybody can see that they have kind of any kind of loss?
Yes, it's very well possible and it's very easy. The primary thing when we're in the hearing loss, there's an onset of hearing loss. The main problem is understanding. It is not hearing. There's never a complaint of hearing. The complaint first comes, no, yes, what are you saying? I'm missing you. These are the complaints. There's a missing of the conversation which happens. The following of the conversation is difficult. And when it is noisy or when it is crowdy, when there are a lot of people talking around, following those conversations becomes difficult. These are the very initial signs when you should really get yourself tested. Following and not listening, but understanding is the primary thing when you really have to, go check yourself for your hearing.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, let's say I have a loss, right? But I'm just ignoring all these problems because I could see that it could be environment. It's just that a lot of people are talking in a different kind of, so there's a clash. So for XYZ reasons, right? So let's say I'm ignoring it for a good time, right? So what do you think in long-term perspective, right? What are the long-term effects that I would have just in case, let's say I just ignore these and say that, oh no, not for me. I'm pretty young. My age is not that much that I would have a loss. So what would I have long-term effect just in case I keep ignoring this problem?
See, if you keep ignoring, you can keep ignoring any kind of problem. We'll keep the hearing loss aside. I will just generalize it with an example. Everybody drives a car, and everybody there's some problem with the car clutch or the brake. You keep ignoring the brake won't remain there. It loosens up more and more and more and more, and the damage further increases. Same way, if you keep ignoring your hearing loss, the hearing loss keeps increasing. That is one. Second, it can lead to something called as memory loss, dementia. There are plenty of studies which say that, ignored long-term hearing loss leads to dementia. And obviously, it leads to frustration. You don't understand what the other person is saying. You get frustrated. You don't feel like, I often get complaints, my father, he gets irritated very quickly. They don't know, understand why. I say, just get his hearing checked because they don't follow. They want to understand everything, but they don't follow the conversations. These are the things. Memory loss, emotional disturbance, and long-term ignorance of hearing loss is irreparable damage.
Okay, got it. Again, you said dementia. Dementia is one of the, again, people would then also feel or would perceive it as more of a age problem, not of.
Yes, that's true. But I'll just put a practical question to you. Do you remember Pythagoras theorem?
Yeah.
You remember the theorem entirely?
Yeah, no.
See, this is what it is. If you were a maths teacher, you would have very well remembered it. It would be in your auditory memory. You will be recollecting it. No, it's not. Since that you're not recollecting, your auditory memory is not being active. You lose it. You just know the name. If you ask me the Pythagoras, I really wouldn't know it. That is the thing. You don't keep hearing a thing, you will forget it.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Now I think this could be one of the clue that people should take, right? Because again, and also because I think, especially in Indian society, the culture, although we are progressing, but I think still hair is people perceive it still like a taboo kind of a thing. So you have related problem you just said, I think these would be, considered to say, raise alarm. I might have these in case if I don't take issues. Okay, great. So let's say I have somebody problem. There is a bit of echo in the voice. Is your
Yes. No, my audios are very clear. There's nothing around.
okay? I think some echo I heard.
Yeah.
If we are talking about hearing and hearing loss, the last thing we should be doing is having a conversation which has a echo. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, great. I was just thinking, does it mean that I need to go for a hearing test immediately after this call?
Yeah, I would advise everybody, once you are of a certain age, start getting your hearing evaluations done regularly.
Okay.
Like how you go for your dental checkup, how you go for the eye checkup, even your hearing checkup needs to be done. It is the most ignored sense.
Interesting.
But the most active sense.
Okay, now as you just said this, so do you think that usually, I know in India, a lot of these corporates have these health checkups, right? So in that list of health checkups, do you also have a hearing test check?
It is mandatory in places where there is a heavy noise exposure as an occupational hazard. But few corporates which are which are multinational levels do get these things done at regular intervals.
Okay. Now I understand. So somebody has a loss, right? These are the long-term effects that you said a problem should have. And one of the simplest thing that anybody can do is get a hearing test done by a clinician or in a hospital where they can get a test done. Looking at the current scenario, right? And as we know that a lot of people at this point of time, especially in India, with the COVID scenario, are not able to step out and are a bit reluctant. And they might say, okay, let's just wait for a few more months and then. So what do you think, or what would be your advice? What is the next thing that they do if they have some kind of problem? So how they can get it tested? Is there any way that they can do something sitting at home?
There are ways. See, first thing is to go. There are plenty of questionnaires which are standardized as well available. Mm-hmm. You just follow the questionnaires. Will give you an idea. Yes, you need to go for an evaluation, or you just need to stay calm. If there are online hearing screening websites, you can go there and screen yourself for hearing loss. See, they won't give you the accurate results, but they give you the approximate results, which are sufficient enough to understand, yes, you have a hearing problem. No, I don't have a hearing problem. Yes, it is a time for me to get it addressed, or no, I can wait about it. Third option, nowadays with the advent of technology, if you have them sitting at your home, you can get your hearing aids delivered to your home, get your hearing aids worn, tested again, programmed, and worn comfortably at the comfort of your home. These facilities are, now the technology is so superior, just with the help of this Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz, it is very, very easy. And at the sitting at the comfort of your home, we have been doing it, and it is really comfortable.
Okay. So you mean that specifically in the last 1 year, 15 months, you think this has now become that people are actually using these platforms and they're pretty comfortable doing it? Because I understand from a healthcare point of view, somebody who has any problem would like to have a face-to-face discussion, isn't it? But do you think this is now in the last 15 months, people are still comfortable and trying to do this?
This is comfortable and still trying to do it, because I have at least not less than 4 or 5. I have since few months only, I have more than 10, 12 clients who are doing it. The best part is I have a client from Tanzania who has just come here and taken the hearing aid and gone there. Now, whatever problems he has, we meet online and I address his solutions.
Okay, wow. Now that's very interesting. I think this is very interesting that you just said that somebody sitting at home can actually get an online hearing test done and understand whether the person has any kind of problem. Okay, the other misconception or other the general perception that people have, although I know this, the regular perception is that a hearing aid is very bulky, cumbersome, not very attractive. They're not very comfortable to wear. And first time when you use it, first I understand even if you wear glass, right? Like you feel a bit of awkwardness. That's understandable. But otherwise, bulky, cumbersome, not very attractive. They're very huge in size. Uh, Tell us where we stand at the moment with regard to the technology and all. Does this perception holds good?
No. Earlier, when you wear that big glasses, people used to, be embarrassed, saying, people will call me something, chashmish, mainly, all these things. But now it is a style statement. It is a style statement. But same with hearing aids, there are, as we have something called as invisible in-canal hearing aids, which are as small, which are really invisible until unless you don't peep into the individual's ears, you can't see them. With the advent of technology, we have virtually invisible hearing aids. It is not big and bulky. The concept of big and bulky is gone. Yes, of course, if you have a profound, I would like to mainly emphasize on this, if there is a profound hearing loss, as of now, they are big. But
So
is it good?
you use the word profound. So for general understanding, profound is a very high level of loss.
Very high means with very high definition. Well, almost 90% of the hearing loss is gone.
Okay.
Means they don't hear anything.
Okay.
Anything. Unless you go next to their ear and honk, that is the thing which they can hear. So for them, it is big. Otherwise, it is nowhere visible. They're literally virtually invisible. A thin line, thin wire going, which mixes with the hair strands. Okay. I somehow sometimes get confused when they come.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, do you have? I know you are at your clinic. Do you have, by any chance, a hearing aid with you? Just for us to see how small and tiny they are. I know I've heard it that they're pretty, and I know them that they're small. So, do we have anything?
Yes, I do have.
Okay. Because seeing is believing, people. Oh wow! So okay.
I'm holding them in my fingers, and this thin line is so transparent. It is virtually invisible.
Wow!
Can you see it?
Also, one of the big, I would say, problem, or I would say, people have an understanding that, oh, if I wear a hearing aid, or if I have a hearing loss, I will have to wear something which is so big and I can actually see it almost like a big headphone.
No, the so big one is this much.
Okay, so this is the biggest one you showed.
That is the biggest one.
Okay, great. Okay, now, as you just said, you said about the eyesight correction. So. And I know this for a fact because I'm wearing a glasses for the last 25 years. So if somebody has a hearing loss, so does that person need to, for example, if I have a hearing loss in one ear, right? Do I need to wear hearing aid in just one ear, or does it need to be in both? Because for like glasses, it has to be both glasses for sure. So for a hearing, how does it work? Does it need to be in both the ears or just one ear?
You have hearing loss in both, you have to wear in both. It's not possible to have in one. It is like limping. You have one ear, you won't believe see, the reason why we have two ears is for the directionality. So our head itself causes a shadow. When some sound comes from this direction, it will spread across and you can't hear on the side. Just wearing one is like not the complete solution. Then rather, it is like those are the people who would say, no, I'm not benefiting from the hearing aid. Those are people who would really not benefit from the hearing aids. Until unless you don't wear two, you will not get that directionality. It's a very simple thing. You close your eyes and put this finger here. You won't be able to see this finger. I won't be able until unless I don't open this eye. So my area of perception would decrease.
Okay.
It's not nice.
Okay. Now, again, so let's say somebody has the other and these are like programmable software driven, right? Isn't it?
Yes. So, very well software driven with great technology nowadays. With the technology is there everywhere. As it is growing in the phones, the same things are coming. You can control them with your phones, with your apps. You can, program them with your phones. Means minimal programming, and they act as Bluetooth devices. Now everybody is having one in their ear, but this is as good as a earbud for somebody who's having a hearing loss.
Okay, okay. Now the other obvious question is, how costly are these? Number one, right? And secondly, is that I know, although it's almost like a sensory organ, they need to be a good cost because they are software. But in terms of the cost, how costly are they? Number one, and what is with regard to their maintenance and after sales service? Is it something that I can easily get, or I need to wait, or I just need to change every now and then? How does it work? Once somebody has a hearing aid fitted now for the first time.
Okay. First question. The cost varies from in Indian rupees. It would be something between 25,000 to 350,000. That is 3.5 lakhs.
Okay. So
it's a huge range. It's a huge range. It's just like a smartphone. You get it for 10,000 and you get it for 2-3 lakhs as well.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Both look the same. Both have the touch. Both have the touch. But once the response of the touch, the features in it really matter. Right? So that is the reason why there is a cost difference.
Okay.
There is a cost. Technology, as you go high, the more and more independent it becomes, and more and more comfortable it becomes. The second one is maintenance. See, it is not an over-the-counter device that you go buy where and you go anywhere for servicing. Yes, the service is easily available across India. The good network of services, the good network of clinics. So the service provider would always be an audiologist.
Okay. Okay.
Wherever you purchase the hearing aid, you have to go to your audiologist to get it serviced, and it is very easy. You need not keep running around from door to door to find out where is the service center. Should I go there? No, it is not required.
Repairable.
Sorry?
They are easily repairable.
They're easily repairable. And the life is good enough. Sufficient. You're using it continuously, almost 8 to 12 hours a day. And if something is running for 8 to 12 hours a day, the life expectancy is still good. It is easily 4 to 5 years.
Okay,
the companies give a warranty of 2 years. The companies itself give a warranty of 2 years. So they're not easily, this thing spoilable, easily go into malfunctioning. They're good.
Okay, great.
The reason why they give 2 years is it is good. Otherwise, you get warranty even on a mobile phone, you get it for a year, but on a hearing aid, you get it for 2 years.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think so that gives an understanding, because if I've spent some money, for how long will it last? And so let's say hypothetically going well for, let's say 3-4 years, would I still, do I need to replace it, change it, like a phone, right? So if a technology, do I need to upgrade it, or do you think it will last as long as it's working fine? I don't need to replace it.
See, it is based on the need and the requirement of the individual.
Okay. Okay.
Right? As long as it is working, you can continue to use it as long as you are comfortable with it. But there are features which are coming in now. An individual earlier, just 5 years back, just 4 years back, somebody of my age having a hearing loss did not have an option of Bluetooth on his hearing aids. Or even just 3 years back, I should say, did not have the option of Bluetooth or a rechargeable connectivity with the phones and smartphones and all. Now they have. Without an intermediary accessory, now they have. So they can upgrade anytime.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Now, specifically talking about the current scenario, because we're living in the COVID times, we can't ignore the COVID time. And because we have to wear a mask a lot of time, the mask is a part and parcel of our life right now, whichever part of the world are you in. So, do you think, do you know of that there are other problems that a person with hearing loss or related issue would have more during this time, especially while wearing a mask? Because I understand this.
Yes, I got a call from one of my patients who said, I lost my hearing aid. I said, how? I was removing my mask and I dropped it somewhere. So this is one physical problem what they face is when they wear a mask which is around the ears. I would always advise my clients who wear hearing aids, please don't wear masks which go around your ear. Have a mask which goes around your head. That is first and foremost thing which I tell everybody to use such kind of. Yes, with mask, because of the dependability on lip reading was there with hearing aid users who have been having a severe loss or more. With mask, they were dependent on lip reading. So I would advise the people who talk to them to talk slowly. Otherwise, the new technology which has come up, technology adapts very quickly to the scenario. Currently, there are programs which help them even with when the speaker is wearing a mask. There are programs which help the hearing aid to understand them better.
Okay, great. Okay. I think I'll skip to one question which I should have asked earlier, but I did not. So, for example, somebody is is going to get a hearing aid for the first time. Apart from like the usability too, like for example, glasses, right? I start wearing a glass. I will get a bit of time to wear a glass, get used to it, right? For example, I remember when I had started wearing glasses, and during these were my college days. So my brother would actually call my parents and ask them, is he wearing his glasses while he's driving? Because I was not very fond of wearing glasses, but he was very particular and he would ask all the time. So I understand, because it's an external object that you're wearing apart from your sensory organ. So would a person have a similar problem like that, or what would be the other problem apart from adaptability of having or would he just get used to it?
No, it takes time. It takes time. It takes time for them to get adapted to it. It also depends on the programming, how it is done. And there is something called as adaptation manager in the hearing aids itself. But we always tell, you will take time. When you wear specs, as you were saying, everything, even for the individual who's wearing, everything starts looking closer, though it is exactly what is required for him.
Correct.
But it looks closer because the mind is adjusted. Your mind is adapted to something which is far, but it is adapted to seeing things like that. One more example is taste. Every individual has the same number of sensory cells on their tongue. But for few, a particular food is spicy. For few, a particular food is not spicy because of the adaptation. Similarly, the brain takes some time to adapt. So even with the hearing aid users, it will take some time to adapt to the hearing aid. It depends on how much. Yes, again, if you use it more, you are adapting it to very quickly. Okay. It is like if you give me a Michael Schumacher's car, I may not win the F1 series. I will not. Because I need that practice. Right.
That's right. Also, I have heard, now these are questions that generally I get to know and a lot of people ask me. I understand, and this is specifically with regard to, of late, I've understood and got to know from people, I don't know if actually this is correct or not, a lot of hearing aids are also available online. When I say online, I mean a lot of these e-commerce platforms, you can actually buy it online and purchase it. So are the hearing aids so simple these days, you can actually just buy it online and get it home delivered and just start using it from next day?
It's not at all so easy. It's not at all so easy. It is like, I would like to, since you're a spectacle user, and it's a common thing that 1 year is minus 2.5, 1 year is plus 2.5. How can you buy it on account? It needs an adjustment. It needs a programming, a proper audiological fitting. Even when I show you the hearing aid, even this particular small dome, which is in front, would matter a lot based on the hearing loss.
But Sai, sorry, just answer the first question I said. Are they available right now? Can people actually buy it? I'm sorry, I'm not telling you. But
in India, things are possible.
Okay, so they are. Okay, so they
are not available on Amazon and Flipkart, fortunately.
Okay.
They are not available so easily online, On the prime good e-commerce websites, they are not available. They are not available because of the ethical standards which are being practiced by the companies. And but yes, there are few people who do it, but it is not at all advised.
Yeah. And I personally feel, uh, although I'm not a clinician, I'm just seeing it from a third perspective. I think it will do more harm than benefit because
Yes, you don't know. It is a prescriptive appliance. It is not a OTC appliance, over the counter appliance.
so as a clinician, what's your advice?
Please go for a proper audiological fitting.
Okay.
Visit an audiologist.
Okay.
Get a audiological consultation. Get a proper audiological service.
Okay, lovely. Sai, I had asked you that I'll take not more than 30 minutes, and I'm very happy we are almost around that same time. So I'm not taking more of that. I have my last question to you before I say bye to you. For anyone who are watching or when this gets on your Instagram, if anybody would like to get in touch with you for more questions on the related topic or something similar to that, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, we are always available. We have our social media handles.
Okay.
Hereandsaiclinic.com is our website.
Okay.
And our phone numbers are available. Our email IDs are available over there. And we are on all the social media platforms. Here and Say Clinic.
Okay, lovely. Hereandsaiclinic.com. Okay. Yeah. Another related question to this, although I know that you have clinics in Hyderabad. So let's say I'll take example of my hometown. So I have somebody in Dehradun, sitting in Dehradun, who would like to get consulting from you, right? Or would get in touch. Can they get in touch with you and can they?
Yes, we are doing, we are practicing online. We are, consultations are there. We are doing online therapies. That's speech therapy at something is apart, but yes, we are doing. That's what I was saying. I am addressing a client in Tanzania. Okay. In India, we can just deliver the hearing apparatus and we can do the programmings and all the required services.
Okay, lovely.
It is very well possible.
Lovely. Okay. Thank you very much, Sai. I wanted to keep it simple. I hope this was simple for people who listen to it and who will be listening to it. I wanted to keep it very basic, right? Not very technical and clinical. So thank you very much.
I have addressed all the things very simply.
Yes, of course you have. Of course you have. And I think I like the analogies that you've used, which were pretty simple and straightforward for anybody to understand. Because I think people tend to understand with simple analogy of day-to-day life, you know, because yes, I understand this is a clinical topic that we're talking in the space of clinical topic, but I think because this is a sensory organ, it's such an important aspect. And because there's so much related problems along with it, which people don't tend to. That's why I thought I will ask questions which are general questions. And thank you for answering almost all of them. So in case we have more questions coming up in the next course of time, because I know this topic is huge. We can go on and on talking about it. There's topic about speech therapy, which I know your team does it. Garima does it very well, who heads the speech side of your clinics. So that's another aspect. Cochlear, I know, is another aspect, which again is very detailed. So depending on that, I think in future we'll see if we can get in touch again and have a quick chat.
Anytime.
So lovely talking to you, Sai. This was wonderful.
Same here.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.